Hey, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of This is Wrestling. Of course, I am your host, as always, Roy Turner, fresh from her Money in the Bank match, along with 6 other superstars. It's already receiving nominations for potential match of the year, and ahead of her performance in Fort Worth, Texas, as part of Friday Night Smackdown, native Texan coming back to the motherland. Please welcome my guest, Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel, welcome to iHeartRadio.
Thank you. And I love that you called it the motherland. It's beautiful. It is. Yes. I'm home.
Well, now, so you made your main roster debut back in April. So you're returning to the motherland on the big show. Walk me through that. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, it feels so good to be back, especially because back in April, I had the opportunity of performing in front of everyone in Dallas and Fort Worth for WrestleMania weekend, but it was with NXT and now I'm with SmackDown. So it's a whole different, mindset that I'm going into it, coming into Fort Worth this time, because not only do we have a new women's champ, but I'm fresh out of a ladder match. Like you said, the fire within me is lit more now than ever. I want to be SmackDown Women's Champ. And how amazing would it be if I won the title in Fort Worth? I'm just going to put it in the atmosphere. Might happen. Who knows?
Well, you would have the support of everybody around you. That's what I mean, too, is you walking into that arena, people know that you're from Texas and we look after our own down here, of course. And of course, we were there at WrestleMania, of course. And of course, we covered it this year. And of course, when it was back in WrestleMania 32. Talk to me about that contrast. Where were you in your career when WrestleMania was in Dallas way back, what was that, 6 years ago versus now? Talk to me about that contrast.
Yeah, I was just starting out with NXT, actually. I had probably not even started at the Performance Center yet. I'm barely going on 5 years being with the Performance Center. And I remember it being in Dallas. I remember WrestleMania anytime it's come close to home, because it was something that I wanted to attend. It was something that I wanted to be a part of, whether it was being a fan or being a performer. And unfortunately, at the time, I didn't get to make the WrestleMania, but I made it this past year.
Yes.
I've gotten to be and I've gotten to see a couple WrestleManias now, and it's really it's eye-opening. It's amazing. There's nothing like those types of weekends, especially when I feel like you come to Texas and we just do it bigger and better than anywhere else that it could be happening possibly. So my mindset now is that I want to be on the next WrestleMania. I want to be a part of it. I want to perform. I want to show not only my fellow Tejanos here in Texas, but everyone who Raquel Rodriguez really is and what she can do and what she's capable of. And I'm capable of so much. I just cannot wait to share that with you guys.
Oh, we're excited too. And that's why I talk about that, because I talk about the trajectory. Like maybe 32, you were a fan, 38, you were a performer, but now, on and on and on, there's more.
Yeah, definitely.
So, it's interesting to me, though, is that talk about a lot of big accomplishments. You were in NXT at the beginning of this year. You make your debut in April. Next thing you know, you're in the ring with Ronda Rousey.
Yeah.
So that's walk me through that. When you were walking, that whole moment of you knowing, your family had to know you were about to come out. You made the call to, I'm about to walk in with Ronda Rousey. Walk me through that.
Yeah, that it was definitely a day. It was definitely a moment for me, because I'd only been on SmackDown for maybe I had my debut match and then I had my match with Ronda. So really 2 or 3 weeks tops. And it's definitely a lot of pressure as well, because not only are you on SmackDown, not only are you on live televised TV, but you're also stepping into the ring with the baddest woman on the planet. This woman is insane. Her work ethic, her just talent, and her overall athleticism is something that is admired greatly. And it was very, very, very nerve-wracking, a lot of pressure. But I told myself, I was like, this is what I've been working so hard for. This is what I've been training for. This is what I've wanted. And this is my big moment, my big opportunity to prove myself. And to prove myself, not just to me, because I always know that I can do it, but to prove myself to others who may be watching, the doubters, anyone who thinks that I am not worthy to be in there. I'm proving to them that I am, and this is where I belong. Raquel Rodriguez belongs in a WWE ring, and that is it.
Well, but you proved it too. It's one thing I absolutely love that swagger, man. Again, that's a Texas thing too. But you proved it. Yeah, I really enjoyed in the Money in the Bank match. There was an incredible spot there. Again, and you're in there with 6 other women that are like murderers row of women's wrestling right now. Alexa Bliss, Asuka, Becky Lynch, Lacey Evans, and Shotzi. But there was this moment where it was no question that you belonged. When you watch that match back, have you watched the match back since? I'm assuming.
I have, yes.
So then you know what I'm talking about. Then there had to be a moment where it clicked for you when you watched it back. Talk to me about that.
It's just very humbling and satisfying to know that I was put in my first big moment with WWE, Money in the Bank. It's the first time I've ever been even on the poster for one of these events. So I was really trying to enjoy it and take every minute and soak it in and love where I'm at this point in my life. But when we were out there competing and watching it back and watching myself perform and stand on my own with women, like you said, who are the death row of women's wrestling right now. Asuka is an insane women's wrestler. She is one of the top one. She is the best, it's Asuka.
Yeah, right.
And being able to be in there with her and try to take me down in an armbar and be able to power out of that. It was just, is really, I don't even know what the word that I can use to describe that, because it was just so like,
right.
Raquel,
right. Yeah.
Damn girl, damn. That's
right.
what it was,
Right. But like you said, I know how Asuka says, nobody's ready for Asuka. So that was going to be your kind of make or break moment. Because if you looked weak in that moment, that was where it was going to kind of separate the women from the girls, as they like to say,
Exactly, yeah.
And man alive, I mean, you were walking tall in there. That was a proud moment for as a fan of yours as well as a fellow Texan. So
thank you.
So what can we look forward to this coming Friday? Raquel, you're going to be in Texas, Fort Worth, Texas, the Dickies Arena. A lot of history down there. Do you know who your opponent is yet?
No, I don't. I don't really know what I'll be doing there on SmackDown, but I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to be there, and whoever my opponent is, I'm going to step into that ring and I'm going to show up and I'm going to go bigger and harder and stronger just for everyone in Texas, because that is what we deserve. We as Texans deserve the very best.
that is right. And so whoever it is, you have to understand, we're calling you out right now to anybody out there that's planning on stepping to Raquel here. Tickets are still available at the box office and also at all wherever you get your tickets. At the live event, of course, bell time is, I believe, is at 7 o'clock.
Yes.
Get there early. Doors open at 5 o'clock. Get there early at 6. Get all your merch. Get all your great stuff. A couple of things I wanted to ask. We had a lot of our Twitter followers had a couple of questions. And one of them wanted to ask was that one of your physical features that you really feature is that awesome back of yours, man. Just that, and it just looks so freaking tough. And so they were wanting to know, what are some workout tips? How do you get a back that just looks so strong and statuesque like that?
Yeah, it's about consistency. It's about consistency, and do not be afraid to lift heavy weight. I will say this, because a lot of people probably think that I do like 100 pull-ups. I do not.
Okay.
I'm like 185, 190 pounds. So I'm a heavy girl and it's a lot to pull up. I'll get a few in, but I like to focus more on movements that I can control. So a lot of like lat pull downs, rows, and just switching it up a lot, like keeping it the same is always good, but you got to keep challenging yourself. So keep pushing yourself to go heavier, try something new, do a different movement. It's all good and fun.
For sure, and also to stay safe as well. I mean,
Yes.
how did you learn that? Like in terms of?
Yeah, it's so hard as an athlete, especially coming from like playing basketball to then, of course, wanting to push yourself to the absolute limit for wrestling, because this is my dream and this is all I've wanted. But I do have to remember when I'm in the weight room that there are days to go hard and there are days to keep it kind of level and sane. And so like TV days, for example, are where I like to keep it at a good, middle ground. I don't want to go too heavy. I don't want to go too light, just because when you're lifting weights, you're tearing your muscles, you're putting your body under a lot of stress, and wrestling itself is a lot of stress. So to stay healthy and to be able to perform every week, weekend, every day, I try to really just keep in mind and keep that like mind body connection of where if something's bothering me, okay, I need to stop. I need to relax. I need to stretch. I need to figure out what's going on. And then, we can get back to it later on.
So, but how do you prepare for a match like Money in the Bank, where you're climbing a ladder and I mean, are you afraid of heights by any chance?
This was my second ladder match in my entire career. And I will say the first time I was a little skeptical up at the top, but I like to think I'm a thrill seeker. I love roller coasters. I would bungee jump. I would jump out of a plane if I had the opportunity. So I go into this kind of a match. I prepare for it physically the same way I would any other, but mentally, you just have to tell yourself, there's no doubt. There's no questioning anything. You got to go for it, and you got to do it at the most extreme and 110% with the most confidence that you have in your body, and just go for it.
Well, I was waiting for you to drop that Texana from the top of the ladder there, and man alive, it's all there, it's all rolling, and it's all happening, and it's all going down this Friday. Be a part of Friday Night Smackdown, coming to Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. A few tickets still remain, but it's going to be a packed house there. All the Texans going crazy for our fellow native Texan, Raquel Rodriguez. Raquel, once again, I want to thank you so much for joining us this week, and we will see you Friday in Fort Worth.
I'll see you guys Friday. I'm so excited to be back. Thank you guys so much. See you at Dickies.
Thank you so much. We'll see you soon. We'll see you there.